Yeah, I forgot to mention in the actual video, but I did mention it in the description and comment section that I decided not to do Lethal Weapon next and decided I'm going to do Jaws and then Karate Kid because, well, I love the Jaws series and I actually have an idea for how I want the series to continue, and, if it does, I'd be fine if it don't, but I think, I'll talk about it when I get to the travesty that is Jaws: The Revenge. And then with the Karate Kid, well, the Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3 came out very recently, and Karate Kid Legends is not too far around the corner. And there's a lot of stuff to watch, so I bet you by the time I get there, I will have reviewed everything. Maybe it'll take that long, but, whatever. Jaws. Characters. Martin Brody is the main protagonist of the first Jaws movie. And he is a pretty cool character. Obviously, since he's the main protagonist, he kills the shark, and, well, let's be honest, this is the best shark death in cinema, in not only the Jaws franchise, but also shark cinema history. Nothing has ever topped this, nor will ever top this. I mean, you might like something better, but deep down that this is the better shark kill. But anyway, yeah, Martin Brody, he's an outsider. He's adapting to this small town island life, and he's just getting used to everything. It takes adjustment. I think I'm just gonna knock out all the Brodies first. Ellen Brody is the third most consistent thing in this franchise, other than the two Brodies and a shark. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it goes shark, the Brody boys, the third thing, Ellen. She's there in this movie. I mean, I think Ellen's kind of adorable in these first two. Not the fourth one. Well, the fourth one's, it's not like she's bad in that. She's kind of badass, but no, she's still adorable. No, she's just adorable in all of them. But she's a nice character that's there to be Brody's wife and to be the main protagonist in 4. That's why Peter Benchley wrote her character. He knew this was going to be turned into a movie franchise, and he knew that when they made a fourth one, they would need her as the protagonist. Michael Brody. Talk about the oldest one. Michael Brody is the main protagonist of the series, almost. He's the main protagonist of Jaws 3. He's a secondary protagonist for Jaws: The Revenge. And he's kind of the main protagonist for Jaws Unleashed, he's more the main antagonist, almost, because you are the shark. But as far as human characters go, I'd say he is the main character. But, yeah, so the most consistent character, him and Sean, appear in every movie. And the most useless one is Jaws 3. The Jaws 3 absolutely did not need the Brody boys. But, yeah, Michael Brody in this movie is just a 10-year-old boy. But, yeah. He's just a 10-year-old boy who's there. And Sean is, 2. Also, be sure to remember those ages. Probably 4. I'm going to say 3 and 10, probably. And just remember those ages, because I'm going to try and state their age every single movie, because that'll be important later. But anyway, Sean's just there also. He's a child. What do you expect? Okay, Matt Hooper, the secondary protagonist, played by Richard Dreyfuss. Oh, yeah, and Brody's played by Roy Scheider. Ellen Brody is played by Lorraine Gary. I don't know about the kids, though. Matt Hooper is played by Richard Dreyfuss, who, this isn't his best role. His best role is What About Bob? Fight Me. But, yeah, this is his second best performance after What About Bob? And he does pretty good. He's the shark expert. He does his stuff. He just, yeah. He was originally supposed to die until they got cool shark footage, so, yeah. Yeah, they got cool shark footage with the cage, and so they're like, well, there's no one in the cage, luckily, so let's let him live. And they do. And let's be glad they did, because if we ever get a Jaws 5, he's the only guy who can return from the original movie. At least of the main three. Not sure how Lorraine Gary is doing these days. Lance Guest, I'm sure, is available. Actually, I'm pretty sure, since I think he was in a movie. I think he's been in a few movies that is 2020s. And Michael Caine's retired. So options are definitely thinning to return anybody for a Jaws sequel. Anyway, yeah, that's Matt Hooper. Quint, who is the best human death in the franchise. He gets eaten brutally. It's one of those scenes that, God, how the hell is this PG? But yeah, he's cool. A lot of his lines are cool. This movie would not be the same without the bluegills and kamikazes, which is actually improvised by Ben Gardner's actor. He improvised a lot of his own lines and some of Quint's lines. So that's pretty cool. We gotta be thankful for the actor of Ben Gardner, who I think was actually a Martha's Vineyard local, the filming location of Amity Island. Anyway, I'm going too slow. Mayor Vaughn is the pesky mayor who keeps the beaches open until someone dies at the beach again, and then his kids were on the beach too. So yeah, he ends up sending out Quint, but he's really pesky and really greedy. Then yeah, after that, is there anybody else with significance? I don't think so. Oh, how could I not talk about our boy, Bruce? The sharks are characters in these movies. Besides, the tiger shark, he's just a carcass, and we don't know anything about him. Besides, he got shot by an arrow. There you go. That's the rundown of the tiger shark's character. But the Bruce's character, he is the most, sadly, as unrealistic of a depiction as Bruce is, he's more realistic than all the other sharks, except for maybe one exception, but we'll get to that. Yeah, he has 5 kills in this movie. Chrissy Watkins, Alex Kittner, Ben Gardner, the estuary victim, and Quint. And yeah, he eats them all, except for Ben Gardner. He didn't quite get to Ben Gardner. Ben Gardner was too good, but he still died, sadly. I think the only part of him that got eaten was his eye by a crab, probably. But, yeah. So, that's what happened. Yeah, Bruce is great. He has the best shark death of any shark in cinema history, or just history at all. I don't think there's one shark in the history of Earth that has died as cruelly as, Bruce did. But, yeah, the great white turd, he malfunctioned and therefore made the movie what it is today. And then this movie overall is pretty damn good. I think it's almost perfect. I've heard the sentiment that it's a little boring when they get on the boat, but I don't think so. I mean, if you never watched it before, it's very tense and very exciting. And even when, as a Jaws enjoyer, I think it's very enjoyable. Not because it's entertaining, just because it's entertaining or anything, or the suspense is great. You know they're gonna live. But I think what makes it great and entertaining is the cast alone. It's not boring because Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Scheider, and Robert Shaw are talented actors, all 3 of them. Roy Scheider did his all in a movie that he did not have fun shooting at all, to the point where he got in a fist fight with the director. But he still gave it his all in that sequel. But these 3 characters are not only entertaining, but they bounce off of each other so greatly. They feel human. These characters feel so real that you only know them for the runtime of this movie, but It feels like you've known all of them for ages. Every single one of them. Every character in this movie. Even the what character guy is written perfectly. Even the minor characters in the back, even the guy who follows Quint around for the whole movie is written good. And he doesn't even have a speaking role in this movie. He doesn't even talk at all, and he's written good. This movie is perfect. This movie is great. I wouldn't change a single thing about this movie ever. I hope if they ever make another Jaws movie, they make a sequel, because you cannot remake perfection. If Universal makes the choice to remake this movie, I will be upset and I will have their heads. And if they ever make a Jaws remake, then I'll be reviewing it. And I don't think I'll be very kind. If it turns out good, well, good for them. But I don't think I'll be very kind for them doing it. But yeah, plugging it into my rating system, it's a 10 out of 10. This movie's perfect. I wouldn't change a single thing about this movie. This movie is just a solid 10 out of 10. 10/10. Jaws is perfect. And now we're gonna go and do the diminishing returns. But we do have to start with the Jaws sequels. We do have Jaws 2 to start, which, might be a rinse and repeat, but it's still enjoyable and is a competent film, which you cannot say about Jaws 3D or Jaws the Revenge. But I think that is all for this time. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you next time.